Lightning tore through the ink-black sky above Willow Creek Estates, casting jagged shadows across Daniel Harper's front porch. The air crackled with the promise of a storm, but it was the figure standing at his door that set his pulse racing. Evelyn Strauss, the HOA president, clutched a clipboard like a battle standard, her blonde hair unmoved by the wind, her eyes locked on Daniel's cobalt blue door as if it were a personal affront. Daniel, a retired Navy SEAL with a prosthetic leg and a hard-won disdain for petty despots, watched her through the window, his fists clenching. He'd served VY-Ved ambushes in Fallujah and IEDs in Kandahar, but nothing prepared him for the war brewing over a door. Daniel had chosen Willow Creek for its quiet promise of peace. After 2 decades of SARE VYC and a CI-VY Lien contracting job that kept him tethered to the Pentagon, he wanted a place to heal, to rebuild. The cobalt door wasn't just aesthetic, it was a tribute to the Navy, a daily nod to fallen comrades. When he bought the house 4 months ago, the door was already that shade, and the realtor swore it was a neighborhood fixture. But Evelyn Strauss, mid-50s with pastel cardigans and a smile that hid venom, saw it as defiance of her suburban empire. It started with a violation notice, taped to his door with aggressive precision. Unauthorized exterior modification. Front door color, cobalt blue. Not an approved palette, ivory, taupe, pearl. Correct within 72 hours or face adieu la 200 fine. Daniel, still settling in, called the HOA office, expecting a mix-up. Evelyn's voice was cold, cutting. Pre-VYS owners were grandfathered. New owners comply. Painted by Friday, Mr. Harper, or fines double weekly. He tried reasoning. This color honors my SARE VYC. It's personal. Her reply was a blade. Your SARE VYC doesn't exempt you. Rules are rules. That was Daniel's introduction to Evelyn, a woman drunk on the sliver of power her HOA presidency granted. What followed was a relentless campaign. Citations piled up. His lawn was 0.5 inches too tall. His garbage can VY Cybele for 25 minutes post-collection. His American flag excessively large. Each bore Evelyn's signature and escalating fines. Daniel, who'd stared down warlords with less arrogance, felt his temper flare. He wasn't one to surrender, but he played along where he could, trimming his lawn to the exact height, hiding his cans. The cobalt door, though, stayed. At the next HOA meeting, Daniel leaned on his cane, his leg aching. The board, a mix of Evelyn's allies and timid neighbors, sat under fluorescent lights. The board recognizes Daniel Harper, Evelyn said, her tone dripping disdain. He spoke calmly. The bylaws allow reasonable accommodations. This door represents my Navy SARE VYC. I'm requesting an exemption. A few board members nodded, but Evelyn cut in. Mr. Harper thinks his veteran status grants PRI VY legies. If we allow this, we'll have rainbow doors next. Next item. Her gavel slammed, silencing him. That night, an email arrived. A DULA 250 fine for disrupting proceedings. Daniel saw it clearly now. Evelyn wasn't enforcing rules. She was waging war. He fought back quietly, installing security cameras to document her moves. A new citation followed, unapproved surveillance. He countered with a certified letter citing state law protecting his right to cameras. For a moment, he thought he'd checked her. Then came a conference. Daniel was in D.C. for a 2-day Pentagon briefing, pitching a security contract. He'd been there a day when his neighbor, Marcus, a retired firefighter, called. Dan, Evelyn's at your house with paint cans. Daniel's stomach dropped. He pulled up his security feed. There was Evelyn, in latex gloves, rolling taupe paint over his cobalt door in broad daylight. The gall of it stunned him. She wasn't just overstepping. She was vandalizing his home. Marcus, tell her to stop. I'm calling the police. Daniel's voice was steel. As Marcus approached, Evelyn waved a paper in his face, her posture screaming authority. Daniel dialed the local precinct, his words clipped. I have VY Deo of the HOA, president, defacing my property. I'm out of town, but can pro VY to camera access. Send an officer to 47 Willow Creek. By chance, Daniel was dining with Colonel Rachel Torres, a friend from his contracting days. When he mentioned the situation, her eyes narrowed. "She's painting your door? That's illegal. Show me." He pulled up the feed, now showing Evelyn arguing with Marcus and a newly arrived officer. Rachel shook her head. "That's trespass and vandalism. My brother's a DA in Fairfax. Let me call him." Within 30 minutes, Daniel was on a call with Ethan, Rachel's brother, a lawyer who specialized in property disputes. "She can issue fines," Ethan said, "but painting your property without permission? That's criminal." Rachel took it further. "Let me talk to the officer." She called the scene, identifying herself as a Pentagon official. Daniel watched the officer straighten on the feed, listening intently. Then Evelyn snapped. In a rage, she hurled the paint roller at Daniel's porch, splattering taupe across the brick, a window, and a rosebush he'd planted for a lost teammate. The officer seized her arm, his lips moving, likely reading her rights. Evelyn's face morphed from smug to panicked, her clipboard useless as she was led to the patrol car. Daniel flew home the next morning. His cobalt door was a streaky taupe disaster, with drips scarring the brick and window. The rosebush was half dead. Repairs were estimated at $3,800, but Daniel had ironclad EVY Denke. His cameras caught every moment, including Evelyn's roller-throwing tantrum. He sent the footage to Ethan, who filed charges for trespass, vandalism, and destruction of property. Evelyn hired a lawyer who claimed the HOA bylaws gave her remedial authority. The argument collapsed when Daniel's attorney, Claire Nguyen, a former JAG officer, presented the bylaws. They required multiple notices, board approval, and a court order for contractor work, none of which Evelyn had. 2 board members testified they'd never authorized her actions, exposing her as a rogue tyrant. One, a shy retiree named Susan, admitted Evelyn had intimidated them for years. The trial was electric. Evelyn sat in a stiff blazer, her defiance crumbling as Claire played the security footage. The courtroom gasped as Evelyn threw the roller, paint splattering like a confession. The judge, a veteran with a no-nonsense stare, zeroed in on Daniel Sayre VYC. "Did Ms. Strauss know you were a disabled veteran?" Daniel nodded. "I told her at the meeting." She dismissed it. The judge's jaw tightened. Rachel's testimony, submitted in writing, sealed Evelyn's fate, detailing her real-time VYEW of the vandalism. Claire's cross-examination was brutal. "You believed you could enter Mr. Harper's property and paint his door." Evelyn, voice shaky, insisted, "The bylaws allow me to maintain standards." Claire held up the bylaws. "Show me where it permits unilateral action without approval." Evelyn faltered, mumbling about implied authority. The judge wasn't buying it. "Ms. Strauss," he said, his voice like stone, "you trespassed, defaced a veteran's property, and damaged his home out of spite. Your title doesn't shield you." He found her guilty on all counts: 6 months probation, 100 hours of community Sayre VYC, DULA $4,500 in restitution, a DULA $2,000 fine, and a 5-year ban from HOA boards. As the gavel fell, Evelyn broke. "This is unfair," she wailed, tears smearing her makeup. "I was upholding the rules." The judge's reply was icy. "You upheld nothing but your pride." As Evelyn was led out, sobbing about her ruined reputation, Daniel felt a weight lift. The war was over. He repainted his door cobalt blue, bolder than ever, and replanted his rosebush. Willow Creek began to mend. Susan and another board member rewrote the bylaws, curbing presidential power. Neighbors, freed from Evelyn's shadow, invited Daniel to cookouts, sharing tales of her reign. He'd won more than a trial had reclaimed his sanctuary. One evening, as a soft rain fell, Daniel sat on his porch, cane at his side. The cobalt door glowed under the light, a quiet salute to his brothers and his fight. He raised a glass to the sky, to the fallen, to the VY tour, not just his, but for anyone who'd ever faced a bully with a clipboard and refused to break. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.